this thing recording? Yeah, I think it's recording. We good? We're gonna start this again? All right, well, here we go.
That vanilla icing that is protein loaded. You can see the side view there.
There's so much of it, I feel like I got it all over my face. Welcome back to the Anabolic Hub, where we make anabolic deliciousness. We're back inside my kitchen today, and we're doing another original recipe, anabolic vanilla iced scones. Heck, we've almost all been to Starbucks, right? We've tried their scones. They're absolutely delicious, of course, but they're loaded with sugar, they're loaded with fat. This version is completely the opposite. It's anabolic, so of course it's going to be loaded with protein. It tastes amazing, and it is going to be one of your new favorite snacks that is easily going to replace your protein bar. So, with no further ado, let's get things started by having a look at the ingredients. Here we go. All-purpose flour, vanilla-based casein protein powder, swerve, granular, baking powder, the one ingredient to rule them all, salt, plain non-fat Greek yogurt. I can't believe it's not butter, the light one, vanilla extract, swerve, confectioners, unsweetened almond milk. First dry ingredient's going to be 174 grams of our all-purpose flour. Minor adjustment, and we have 174 grams of the all-purpose flour in. And our next dry ingredient is going to be 66 grams of our vanilla-based casein protein powder. Casein protein powder. Do not use whey. If you do, it's gonna come out dry, it's gonna not taste good, and it's going to be the worst scone you have ever had. So, casein only, casein only, casein only. No asking if you can use whey, because you can't. Casein, 66 grams. $66 grams on the money. Next up is 40 grams of our swerve granular. Then it's 7 grams of our baking powder. Not baking soda, baking powder. 7 grams. And our last ingredient will be 2 grams of the one ingredient to rule them all, salt. And once you have all of your dry ingredients in your mixing bowl, we all remember what the next step is, right? We're going to mix or sift them all together. And in case you all forgot, you don't want to sleep on the sifting. We want to get all of the ingredients well mixed together, especially that baking powder, so we get a nice even bake. Next up, we're going to start mixing together our wet ingredients, starting with our plain non-fat Greek yogurt, 85 grams, negative scale measuring system. And with that little bit there left on the spoon, we have 85 grams of the plain non-fat Greek yogurt. Exactly. And our next ingredient is going to be 28 grams of the I can't believe it's not butter, the light one. We're going to use our negative scale measuring system, put it into a microwave safe container, and then we're going to soften it for 10 seconds, give or take. 12, 8, whatever works best for you, but it must be softened. And through the magic of editing, we have microwaved our light butter, and we're adding it to our wet ingredient. And our last wet ingredient is going to be 8 grams of the vanilla extract. So I just wanted to break in real quick here to remind you to smash the like button, consider subscribing if you're not subscribed, and why don't you tell me, if you're at Starbucks and you're not gonna get a scone, what are you gonna get for a dessert? Let me know in the comment section. All right, back to the video. And after we have all of our wet ingredients in there, we just wanna give them a quick mix. And after they're as well mixed as they're gonna be, we are done. We're gonna start adding in our dry ingredients to our wet ingredients. And of course, I may have been a little premature here. We do have to add in one more wet ingredient, but it's okay, we'll get there. But nonetheless, let's add in our dry ingredients in 3 separate batches. Batch number 1. Batch number 2. And of course, batch number 3. And you'll have to forgive me, I'm a little out of practice, but there is one more wet ingredient that we have to add in, and it is, of course, the almond milk. We're going to be adding in some almond milk here as our last wet ingredient, and this will depend very much on the type of vanilla-based casein protein powder that you used. If you use the same one I did, 200 grams works perfect. If not, you're gonna have to play around with it a little bit. I recommend adding in 50 grams at a time and mixing and finding the right consistency, which I am about to show you. And once you've mixed until you think you've mixed enough, and then you've mixed some more, it does come together into this wonderful doughy type substance. We are now ready to put this on a baking pan that's been covered with parchment paper. Let's do that right now. And we have our baking pan covered with our parchment paper. What you want to do is take all of your dough at once and put it as close to the center of the pan as you can, like this. So ideally your parchment paper wouldn't shift like mine is, but you get the idea. And the next step is to form this into a circular pizza crust type shape, which we're going to do right now. The dough is very sticky, so I recommend you either dip your fingertips with some water or do what I'm gonna do because I prefer to make a mess with my hands. Spray it with some nonstick cooking spray and let's shape this baby out, shall we? Here we go. And voila. It still gets me every time. Once you have this pizza pie type shape done, you're ready to go and start the baking process, which we're going to do with our preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius. And you're gonna bake it for about 12 to 15 minutes, checking it along the way. Let's get it going. And while we're waiting for our scone pie to bake up, let's get the vanilla icing going here. We're gonna lead things off with 33 grams of more of our vanilla-based casein protein powder. And in case you forgot, don't use whey. Of course, we're a touch over. There we go, 33 grams. Then we need 10 grams of our Swerve confectioners. And we'll do our due diligence and sift these two dry ingredients together. And then we're gonna wanna add in 125 grams of our unsweetened almond milk. Then we wanna give that a quick mix. And then just to spruce up the flavoring a little bit and give it more of that authentic vanilla frosting taste, we're going to add in a few drops at your own discretion, but no more than 6 drops of the vanilla extract. And one more mix. Now it is only a few drops of the vanilla extract, but give it a solid mix. You want it dispersed amongst all of our frosting as best we can. The icing is done. We need only wait for our scone pie to finish baking. We will add on our icing, cut it up, and then it's over to the taste test table. So after exactly 15 minutes, I've taken the scone pie out of the oven and it smells so good. Want to take a look? Let's have you take a look. And oh my, there it is. We just gotta now let it cool for about 5 to 10 minutes. And like I said, add on the icing, cut it up, and you know where we're going next. And we are frosted, cut up, and ready to try. So with no further ado, let's go try it. And we're back at the taste test table yet again to try another original recipe, vanilla ice scones. If you like them at Starbucks, you're gonna love this one. You're gonna love it even more because it's gonna be guilt-free. It can easily replace a protein bar. It's not going to be loaded with any sugar, only high in protein, and the perfect snack to add in to your meal plan today. Super simple to put together. It's not that many ingredients. It's ready in about 30 minutes if you're not moving the camera around. But nonetheless, we're here to taste test some scones. So let's dive right into it here. I'm gonna pick this one up on my right side. I'll give you a close-up look as to what it is.
There you can see, look at all that vanilla icing that is protein loaded. You can see the side view there. Oh my goodness, the texture is amazing. But let's stop talking about it and let's try it. First bite, best bite. Every time with this one, you can't convince me otherwise. Here we go.
So good. Of course, it's my recipe, but I promise you, if you try this one, you will think it's awesome as well. If you've ever liked having a scone before, it's not a crumbly type scone. Very hard to get anabolic recipes to be crumbly, but personally, I'm not a big fan of crumbly pastries anyway. They fall all over the place. Usually means they're dried out and not very good texture-wise. This is perfect. This is like having a scone and a cake combination in one. So delicious. So delicious. When you bite into it, because of the way we put that icing together, it really tastes like you're having actual frosting. And I do think the key are those few drops of vanilla extract that go on top. Now, if you wanted to give this more of a cake, vanilla cake type flavor, you could use some cake batter extract. Experimented with that a little bit. Wasn't quite scone-like, I would say. Felt like I was having more of a vanilla cake. Really went more for the scone flavoring here, and I'm telling you, this nails it. You gotta try it. It's so good. Such a thick layer of frosting on there too. That one scoop of vanilla casein protein powder, which, by the way, as we know from the other recipes we've done on the channel, the casein protein powder is the best protein powder for making any type of frosting, and it doesn't disappoint here either. This isn't a glaze. This is a thick pastry type frosting, and you're gonna love it. The perfect amount of sweetness, the perfect amount of flavor. There's so much of it, I feel like I got it all over my face. Nonetheless, you gotta try this one. If you do, please let me know in the comment section, because I'd love to find out how it turned out for you. Before I go, I'll flash up the macros real quick here. As you can see, lower cal, loaded with protein, could easily replace a protein bar or any lower calorie protein snack that you're having, whether it be in the morning, the afternoon. Heck, have a couple of these for breakfast, why not? They meal prep really well. Put them in an airtight container, put them in the refrigerator. As long as you have them within a week, they're gonna taste good. I'd say even after 2 days, they taste even better. The texture improves, as does most of our anabolic goods. Anyway, if you try them, like I said, let me know in the comment section. But it's getting to be about that time. I gotta get up out of here and finish the rest of my scone off camera, but I will see you in the next one. Bye.